Did you know that Estonia in size is actually bigger than Switzerland, bigger than Belgium, and even bigger than Netherlands? Well, yes, exactly. When I first came to Estonia, there were a lot of things that I believed to be true, and many of them I believed to be false, which actually turned out to be true. And in this video, I want to talk about all the different kinds of myths and misconceptions that people might have when they're thinking of moving to Estonia, or even when they are already in Estonia. So let's begin. Myth number one: Estonia and Russia are similar. Now, this is one of those myths that might be perpetuated because Estonia was part of the Soviet Union, and many people, especially foreigners, have it mixed in their heads that Estonia and Russia are somehow similar. In fact, I was one of those persons myself, because the first time I actually came in contact with an Estonian person was actually during online gaming. I was playing this game and one of my teammates turned out to be an Estonian. And as soon as he told me in Estonian, I said, "Oh, you mean Russian?" And he said, "No." Well, he very calmly and politely explained that you're not Russian, we are part of Soviet Union, but then when we got independence, we are nothing similar to Russia or Soviet Union at all. And when I came to Estonia, I could see it actually myself, because everything is different between Estonia and Russia. The language is completely different, the food is completely different, although there are some similarities, and the culture, oh my god, the culture is completely very much different at all. So Estonia and Russia are very distant things, even though in Estonia there is quite a sizable population of Russian speaking people, but that is a story for another time. But even though there are quite a lot of Russian speaking people in Estonia, and there have been quite a few of cultural mixes even in the language, because I see many Estonians using Russian word davai quite a lot. So onward to myth number two, which is Wi-Fi in the forest. I don't know exactly where this myth came from, but somebody somewhere perpetuated that myth that Estonia has free Wi-Fi everywhere in this whole country. And the slogan was someone like Wi-Fi in the forest. When I came into Estonia back in 2014, that was the thing in my head, and I always wondered, like, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, there is a Wi-Fi access point somewhere that you could get into. But that's really not true, because Estonia is really big, and to get every place in Estonia a Wi-Fi signal doesn't really make sense at all. I think the origin of that myth comes from this initiative probably back in 2001, when public companies and private companies got together to improve Wi-Fi internet access, and they installed a lot of different Wi-Fi access points all across Estonia. And maybe some Western journalist, you know, rosy-eyed, he came to Estonia and saw this and saw, oh my god, they have Wi-Fi everywhere. Not only that, Estonia is not even that high in internet penetration rates. Like, Estonia is actually around number 35 in the global rankings, with about 91% of population with internet access. There are a lot of countries that are above that. I mean, Iceland is 100%, Norway is about 99%, Finland is about 93%. So it's a myth, Wi-Fi in the forest. And there is still a lot of work that Estonia can do with respect to internet penetration to its population. Myth number three that I already talked about is that Estonia is not really a small country. I mean, small as in geographically. It has a land area of about 45,000 square kilometers, which makes it actually larger than Switzerland. It makes it larger than Belgium. It even makes it larger than Netherlands. In fact, when we look at the global rankings, then Estonia is at 132 place, and that is not even down there. It's almost in the middle, which means that Estonia is somewhere in the middle if we compare geographical land rankings from the biggest country to the smallest country. So it's not a small country, really. I think part of the reason why people might think that it is small is because it has a very low population density. It has about like 30 people per square kilometer, which probably means that people think that there isn't so much big. But the fact of the matter is that there's just a lot more room for small number of people. Myth number 4, and that might get me in hot water, but Estonia is not Nordic. Estonia is not a member of the Nordic Council. Estonia formally is not a Nordic country, even though many people in Estonia and the marketing department and everybody like in the state would like to think or would like to perpetuate the idea that Estonia is a Nordic country, but in reality it is not. It's like a guy trying to be a member of the cool kids club. I think there are a lot of similarities between Estonia and the Nordics. Like, I mean, Estonian language is quite similar to Finnish language. There are similarities in culture. There are similarities in political structure, but that is pretty much where it all ends. But I don't think it's a bad thing, because you don't have to be a member of that club, like a Nordic club. You can be a little bit of Nordic and you can be a little bit of Baltic as well. I mean, you can forge your own identity. You don't necessarily have to be part of this cool club in order to be cool. So I think that in the near future, Estonia will definitely solidify its own identity as a country itself, which doesn't necessarily have to be Nordic or Baltic specifically, but bridge between both. Sorry to bother you in between the video, but somehow I missed point number 5. I was really tired and it completely slipped my mind. So the thing is that point number 5 was actually about cost of living in Estonia, that Estonia has a myth of being a cheap country, but it's definitely not a cheap country. I have talked a lot about it. And if you want to know more about it and you find out the difference of costs, then you can find and have a look at this video here. And if you want to know more, then you can download my cost of living guide, which I will put down a link in the description below. You can continue on with the video. Sorry about that again. Enjoy. Myth number 6. Despite what many people would like you to think, Estonia is not the most digitally advanced nation in the world. There are quite a lot of countries that are well above and beyond Estonia in digital infrastructure, in ICT technology, in digital governance. For example, Estonia is number 20th in digitally competitive rankings, whereas Denmark is number 1. Estonia is actually number 22 in Network Readiness Index, which is a global ranking index ranking 131 countries in the world. And what they rank is that how much is the ICT technology, the information technology, is contributing to the economy itself as well. And Estonia is number 22 there, with a mention from the report saying that it can improve its ICT technology level itself to improve its general rankings. But that said, I think the most important point here to understand is that if we compare the progress between Estonia and many other countries, then we should look at the speed of implementation. Estonia has been independent for almost 30 years by now. If we look at the accelerated rate of how Estonia has developed in the last 30 years, many other countries who are much higher above in rankings, I think they had a lot more time to develop their digital infrastructure. That said, I still think that things can be improved, but yet Estonia is not the most digitally advanced nation in the world. And finally, number 7. Estonian women are beautiful. In fact, if you come to Estonia, then you will often see this statistic plastered everywhere that Estonia has the highest number of per capita supermodels in the world. I tried to research it hard, but I couldn't really find any statistic or reference to support that claim. But I do believe that it is true, because from my experience of talking to many people, and from talking to all people from all different kinds of sectors in Estonia, and especially the women, it's entirely true. Because every other person that you meet, it is possible that they have modeled for some place or somewhere. This is actually true. And I think the reason why I would say that is true. But if you are coming to Estonia for this reason, because, you know, Estonia has the highest number of supermodels per capita, very beautiful women, and you think you might have a chance, then please think twice, because despite the fact that Estonian women are extremely beautiful, they have extremely high standards, they have very extremely high regard for themselves and their partners. So if you want to be here and if if you want to date an Estonian, then you better up your game. And if you want to know more about dating in Estonia, then I have a video that you can have a look right away. Thank you for watching the video, and please comment down below and let me know if there is any other myth that you think or misconception that you think I missed. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.